Hello, fellow Pokemon trainers. My name is Maple, and you're watching Spruce. What happened to you? You're a mess.
Oh, yeah, sorry. As I was coming in, I noticed a truck parked outside the building, so I was crawling under it looking for rare Pokemon.
Looking for... Where would you get an idea to do that?
Just a thing that I heard once. Turns out it's not true, though. Also, people really don't like finding strangers crawling under their vehicle in, general.
I can't imagine that. Still, we are going to be talking about a rare Pokemon today, Mew. Did you know that Mew's DNA is said to contain the genetic codes of all Pokemon?
What? How can it fit so much code in such a little body?
It's not how that works.
Oh, wait. I get it. Maybe it's like nanotechnology, or a smartwatch,
I'm gonna actually start the show now.
or a Game Boy Micro.
Hello, fellow Pokemon trainers. My name is Maple.
And I'm Spruce, and you're watching Beyond the Pokédex.
In this entry, we're here to report on number 151, the mythical Mew. It's a tiny psychic type that comes in at 1 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 8.8 pounds.
Okay, so not the size of a Game Boy Micro.
Not quite.
Despite how small it is in size, Mew is massively powerful and has had a gigantic impact on the world of Pokemon, much bigger than 1 foot and 4 inches.
Mew is incredibly rare. It's one of the most difficult of all the Pokemon to find, and it's been shrouded in mystery throughout the years. In fact, the Pokédex has said that Mew will only appear to those who are pure of heart.
Oh, so people exactly like me then.
I admire the confidence. You do have a kind soul, Spruce.
It's okay, Maple. I'm sure your heart is pure enough for a Mewtwo. Mew also, not Mewtwo.
Moving on. Mew has a pleasant pink color and seems to have an appearance akin to the felines of our world. According to the Pokédex, if you look at it through a microscope, you can see fine and delicate hairs. Combine all those elements and it's even more adorable than I originally anticipated.
You heard it here, folks. It's scientifically proven Mew is adorable. For the most part, this Pokemon has mainly been available in the video game series through special events held by the Pokemon Company or Nintendo. So it's not only totally awesome to finally get one because of its rarity, but it's just as exciting because of how much suspense and how many secrets lie within Mew's origin.
Suspense and secrets? Now you're speaking my language. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Well, if you play Pokemon video games set solely in the Kanto region, you can find some scattered hints relating to Mew deep in the abandoned Pokemon Mansion on Cinnabar Island. When I first played Pokemon Red as a kid, all I could find was coughing. No offense, coughing.
I can speak to Pokemon Blue. It was Ponyta for me.
Besides coughing and Ponyta, you might remember that in the mansion there are journal entries left behind by researchers. And hey, wait, we're researchers. And we have journals. That's so cool.
Our aspirations of becoming great Pokemon researchers like them came true.
Just like coughing, we've come full circle, even if we have some bumps along the way. Anywho, the researchers documented discovering a new Pokemon deep in the jungle and gave it the name Mew. And then these scientists were able to create a new Pokemon from Mew. Bet you can guess it? Mewtwo. Not Mew also. Not
to leave all you trainers hanging, but we should probably keep our focus on Mew.
Yeah, we'll cover that more in another entry. Spoiler alert, things go a little south for those scientists.
Maybe we don't exactly want to end up in their position.
I am A-okay with us skipping that part.
Who am I? What is my true reason for being?
You know, something I've been wondering this whole time.
Yes, Spruce?
Have you ever gotten Mew in any of the games?
Recently? Because I definitely waited in line at the mall to get one back in the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue days.
I was thinking more recently, but wow, nice callback.
Thank you. More recently, I received mine near the beautiful Floaroma Town in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. If you have saved data from either Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, you can talk to a woman there and she'll grant you a Mew.
That rules! I got mine in Pokemon Sword thanks to a mystery gift, with the help of my handy-dandy Pokeball Plus that never leaves my side. You can plug that sweet, sweet serial code into the menu and bam, we're in Mewtown.
What is the population density of Mewtown?
Population? Me, baby. It's rare, just like Mew, of course. We'll let you in though, since you also have Mew.
How generous.
Trevor.
What was that?
Trevor was the one. During recess one day, he was the kid who told me that Mew was hiding under a truck on the docks in Vermilion City. I spent ages in Pokemon Red trying to get under that truck. Well, guess what, Trevor? It didn't work, and you're not allowed into Mewtown.
I'll send him a postcard.
Fun fact though, in Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Leaf Green, you can find the item Lava Cookie in the same area. And no, Trevor, I'm not letting you have a bite of it.
So, once you do manage to receive one, what is Mew actually capable of? Well, not only is Mew incredibly powerful, its stats are also evenly distributed, making for a balanced powerhouse. Plus, it has the ability Synchronize, where it takes status afflictions like being burned, paralyzed, or poisoned and passes them on to its opponent. It would be scary if it wasn't for the cute micro hair.
In addition to being super balanced, Mew also got a huge range of moves. It can learn every single technical machine, hidden machine, and just about every tutor move. That's over 200 unique moves. It's wild. I can't even learn one move.
Me neither. Mew is perhaps the most versatile Pokemon of all time, so don't be too hard on yourself for not having that kind of range.
I wonder if having the genetic code of all Pokemon is what lets it learn so many.
You might be onto something, Spruce. The Pokédex states that because it can use all kinds of moves, many scientists believe Mew to be the ancestor of Pokemon.
Wow, adds to the whole mystique.
Certainly. With that level of capability and even distribution of stats, a Mew on your team can essentially be whatever you want it to be. As long as, of course, you pay attention to its weaknesses to Ghost, Dark, and Bug types.
A Mew's worst nightmare? Gym leader Bugsy. Never underestimate a dude in short shorts with a net.
I'm certain Mew is on high alert as we speak.
Speaking of Mew's versatility, it's also quite adaptable in Pokemon Unite. Its passive ability is Synchronize, which allows it to reset its originally selected moves and learn new ones. So let's say you open the game with Electro Ball and Light Screen, and later realize you should have gone for Solar Beam. You can change that mid-game. It's the dream, and we are living it.
You know, even though Mew has a secretive nature, it's interesting how many major appearances it's made over the years. It's certainly made an impact in the Pokemon trading card game. In this case, I'm referring to combining the strengths of Mew VMAX with Genesect V, both from the Sword and Shield Fusion Strike expansion. This deck was used by a Masters quarterfinalist in the 2022 World Championships. Mew VMAX has an attack called Cross Fusion Strike that allows you to choose one of the attacks of your own benched Fusion Strike Pokemon and use it as Mew VMAX's attack. And guess which Pokemon especially packs a punch?
Machamp, it packs 4 punch. Wait, I changed my answer. I'm guessing it's Genesect V.
That's right. With Technoblast dealing a ton of damage, you can easily overwhelm the competition.
Isn't there also a Mew card that can actually do anything?
You're thinking of Mew EX, and basically. You probably remember it from the 2007 World Championships. It has the Pokébody Versatile, which lets Mew use a move of any Pokemon in play.
2007. Thinking about the good old days. Do you remember that ancient Mew promo card that you got when you first saw Pokemon the first movie?
I have it framed.
That's so legit, Maple.
And have you checked out the Mew card from the Celebrations expansion with the mysterious tail ability?
I have, but it's not framed. Even its tail is mysterious, huh?
From head to tail. The way that ability works is, if Mew is in the active spot, you can look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and if you find an item card there, you reveal it and put it into your hand.
I don't want to forget this. My friends are going to be so surprised when I unleash my unstoppable Mew and Mew deck. I'll call it 2 Mew.
I wouldn't go that far. Mew works best with others. 150 others for that matter. Mew is also prominently featured in the Scarlet and Violet 151 expansion, alongside the other original 150 Pokemon. There's a beautiful Mew EX card and amazing art of Mew featured on the packaging.
Mew may be mysterious, but seemingly not very camera shy.
I suppose you can say the camera loves it.
I guess Mew just knows we can't get enough. It has been with us all for so long that it's hard to not be fascinated by it. It's the second Pokemon to appear in the first English opening of the animated series. and at the time, we didn't really know anything about it.
Of course, and Mew would continue to appear sporadically afterward. It was connected to the Tree of Beginning in the movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
I remember seeing it in the final episode of Pokemon Origins, watching Red and Blue from outside the window. What a little scamp.
We also know it like spending time in Pallet Town when we see it near Professor Oak's lab in the Pokemon Sun and Moon episode, Alola Kanto.
Speaking of Pallet Town, Mew plays a huge role in Pokemon Journeys, the series. As a child, Go sees one in the first episode. It battles and eventually beats a Nidoking. After seeing such an incredible and incredibly rare Pokemon, it ignites a fire within Go. He makes it his dream to one day be a Pokemon trainer and catch Mew himself.
A lofty but admirable goal.
I love it. He even eventually gets a chance to thank it for inspiring him in his dream. And that's just as good, right?
I'd take it as a victory. Oh wait, we have yet to discuss one of Mew's biggest appearances ever.
That's right! It was part of one of Meow's fantasies in the episode A Lean Mean Team Rocket Machine.
No, I was referring to Pokemon, the first movie.
Oh, yeah, that does have Mew in it.
I should know by now when you're pulling my leg.
Classic Spruce goof, am I right?
Wait, did you just... Who approved of that?
The first movie is an incredible display of everything that makes Mew awesome. So Mewtwo builds a fortress on New Island and creates a clone Pokemon army angry at the human race for its cruelty against it. Ash and the other trainers barely stand a chance of stopping it, but Mew senses the trouble and goes to battle with Mewtwo.
Yes, and Ash watches as the battle erupts, along with a fight between all the cloned and original Pokemon. The battle reaches a breaking point, and he bravely proceeds to jump between Psychic Blasts from both Mew and Mewtwo.
I'm gonna need a box of tissues just thinking about it.
As a result, Ash is turned to stone.
And I'm crying, Maple. It's happening.
I know, you aren't the only one crying over this moment. The tears of the surrounding Pokemon magically revive Ash.
And he comes back safe and sound and nothing else scary happens, the end.
See, tears do turn to triumph.
Look, when I was a little kid in the theater and saw Pikachu crying, I started crying.
I think it's safe to say that we all did. I even got emotional all over again when it happened in Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
Can we get some more tissues on set, please?
I'm so glad to see that you're so moved by Mew, Spruce. You're reminding me a lot of Red in the Pokemon Adventures manga.
You mean as an incredibly famous trainer with formidable battle skills and a ceaseless desire for adventure?
No, just the Mew thing.
Oh,
Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
all right. We're even.
I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are.
Mew appears in the very first chapter of Pokemon Adventures, where it's initially dubbed a Phantom Pokemon. Both Red and Blue try and fail to catch it. Team Rocket is after it too, but they don't have much luck either in capturing the real deal. In Chapter 17, the Jinx Red gets incredibly close with this Ivysaur, yet still doesn't manage to seal the deal.
I remember seeing it in the sky watching Red and Blue head back to Pallet Town after Red's championship victory.
It's a great story. The way that
Wait, have you caught one in Pokemon Go yet?
It took quite a while, but I did.
Mew puts you to work. It took finishing the special research quest called A Mythical Discovery, but it was so worth it. It can use fast attacks and charge attacks from so many different types, true to form Mew.
That's not the only place you can find the wonder of Mew. Mew is in the last Rainbow Cloud course of the original Pokemon Snap for the Nintendo 64.
Really does love the camera, huh?
Mew is amazing all around, whether we're talking about its mysterious nature, its astounding array of powers, or the way it manages to capture the limelight across the Pokemon world. Thank you for watching Beyond the Pokédex. I'm Maple.
And I'm Spruce. Be sure to tune in next time for a new entry, but now we want to hear from you.
That's right. We want to test your knowledge.
Are you ready, trainers? Earlier we mentioned that Mew had an ability in the video games that allowed it to pass on its status affliction to another Pokemon.
What is the name of this ability? Let us know in the comments if you can, and while you're at it, tell us about your favorite Mew appearance.
For all we know, your favorite appearance could be right now.
What are you talking about?
You said Mew appeared to people that were pure of heart.
It's, that's not, I think I left something over there.
Yep. Any minute now.
Oh, and remember, the Pokédex is just the beginning.